Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the sanctuary. Happy October. My birthday is in 12 days. Thanks. Okay. This is our music month, and we had a wonderful Stevie Wonder night, and tonight you are in for a treat with Life is a Cabaret, or is it? Candice Shaughnessy has been an incredible support system for the Tuesdays in the Sanctuary since we started it as a pilot project last year. She has mentored and emceed our lunch series that we had over the last year, and we're so delighted to be able to have her come and do her own show tonight. So she is accompanied by Steve Vasta, who can play anything in my book. So I would love to welcome you all and also invite you to come to the rest of our music month. We have next week is Sondheim, etc., and then we also have a Imagine America concert coming up just before the election for you to all come and just relax and be together and sing some songs along with Beverly O'Regan Thiel and Monroe, who is going to be accompanying her. So please come. There are flyers in the back. Please invite your friends. And I would like to introduce Candice Shaughnessy and Steve Vasta.
Once I hated this city, now it can't get me down. Slushy, humid, and gritty, what a pretty town. What thought I could be duller, more depressing, less gay. Now my favorite color is gray. A wall of rain as it turns to sleet. The lack of sun on a one-way street. I love the grime all the time. And what more do I need? My window pane has a lovely view, an inch of sky and a fly or two. Why, I can see half a tree. And what more do I need? The dust is thick and it's galling. It simply can't be excused. In winter, even the falling snow looks used. My window pane may not give much light, but I see you, so the view is bright. If I can love you, I'll pay the dirt no heed. With your love, what more do I need? Someone shouting for quiet, someone starting a brawl. Down the block there's a riot, and I'll buy it all. Listen now, I'm ecstatic. Hold me close and keep still. Hear the lovely pneumatic drill. A subway train thunders through the Bronx. A taxi horn on the corner honks. But I adore every roar. And what more do I need? I hear a crane making street repairs. A 2-ton child running wild upstairs. Steam pipes bang, sirens clang. And what more You know, the best part of the lighting at Rutgers Church is that I can't see any of you at all. I have no idea who's here, except I do know my family is here because I made them go eat before this. So who is here from Rutgers? Okay, all right. Who is here from AMDA? Yeah! Who's here from PEO? And who just read about this in the West Side Rag and decided to show up? Okay. All right, cool. So next two pieces are kind of like gold standards of musical theater. We've got Nickel Under the Foot and My Ship. So let's hit it, Steve. Maybe you wonder what it is makes people good or bad. Why some guy in Ace without a doubt turns out to be a bastard, and the other way about. I'll tell you what I feel. It's just the nickel under the heel. Oh, you can live like hearts and flowers, and every day is a wonderland tour. Oh, you can dream and scheme and happily put and take and put, but first be sure the nickel's under your foot. Go stand on someone's neck while you're taken. Go into somebody's throat as you put. For every dream and schemes, depending on weather, all through the storm, you've kept it warm. The nickel under your foot. And if you're sweet, then you'll grow rotten. Your pretty heart covered over with soot. And if for once you're gay and devil may care less, and oh so hot, I know you've got the nickel under your foot. My ship has sails that are made of silk. The decks are trimmed with gold, and of jam and spice there's a paradise in the hold. My ship's aglow with a million pearls, and rubies fill each bin. The sun sits high in a sapphire sky when my ship comes in. I shall wait the years till that dream need never be. If the ship I sing does it also bring my own true love to me. If the ship I sing does it also bring my own true love to me. Thank you. There's this shocking thing that I teach in a musical theater conservatory, but I'm actually a soprano. Not that there's not sopranos in musical theater, it's just people think belts. They don't think like, soprano. Because I started my life in musical theater, really, and then I wandered into opera by accident, and now I feel like my life has come full circle. So thank you for humoring me. So now there's this really fun thing, because I work at AMDA, and apparently I have a lot of AMDA people here tonight. Anyway, so my AMDA people and the AMDA teachers that are here, of which I sort of saw some of you. I'm really blind, I don't know who you are. Sometimes you have a student that brings a song into their lesson, and this doesn't happen often because we do a lot of kind of the same sorts of things. And you're like, ooh, I never heard that before. I really like that song, but I want to sing it. So this piece, somebody did last year, and I was like, I gotta hide that somewhere because I don't know when's the next time I'm gonna sing, because I don't sing very often anymore. So this is I Had a Dream About You by Maury Yeston, and then we're gonna do If You Hadn't But You Didn't for fun. So we're gonna do that right now. I had a dream about you, we were together again as we had always been. It was the happiest dream I think I ever have had that you and I've been in. It was a dream I don't need to explain. We're in the car and we're driving in Maine. It's so incredibly beautiful, I don't know where to begin. We're driving into the night, and from a magical height we see two orange moons. They're hanging up in the sky like a pair of contented balloons. And as we stare into space in astonishment, I turn to look at your face and you kiss me, all in an instant inside of a wonderful dream. Oh, I remember two orange moons rise to the sky to the sound of looms, and you were there, my dream. I had a dream about you, we were together again, an old familiar pair. It was the kind of a dream so absolutely convincing you'd believe you're there. The open road and the dotted white lines, the crispy smell in the air of the pines, the overwhelming sensation you're up and awake everywhere. And when we look in the sky, they're getting higher and higher, those two orange moons. There's one for you and for me, and impossibly both of them gleam. And I am holding your hand for eternity, and you're beginning to say that you love me. If only it really had happened, if only it all really happened. I had a dream about you, but of course, it was only a dream. It was only a dream. course, it was only a dream. As usual, my man, breaking my foolish heart. I really don't know what to do about him. I've told myself I've got to do without him. Goes as usual, my man, tearing my heart apart. He's made my life a mess. I've got to do this, I guess. Goodbye, Joe. Kiss you. Goodbye, Joe. I hope I don't miss you. If you had been on the square and had treated me fair, we'd had not had a tiff. If you had not said I should go and jump right off the nearest cliff. If you had stayed off to make and had never had taken to coming home stiff. I had not smelled perfume with a nasty, unfamiliar whiff. I'm gonna miss you, baby. Things could have been terrific. What's the diff? If you had not had the cheek to stay out for a week, saying back in a jiff. If you were not such a two-timing guy. If you weren't, if you hadn't, if you didn't, if you weren't, if you hadn't, if you didn't, but you were and you have and you went and you did, and so goodbye. If I had not seen you take Geraldine on the lake in your flat-bottom skiff. If you were not found with Sue with your arms around her bare midriff. If I had not seen you pen sexy letters to Gwen in your own hieroglyph. If you had not left me home when you had 2 seats for South Pacific. I'm gonna miss you, baby. You were too darn prolific. What's the diff? If you were not such a hound who, when game was around, always picked up the sniff. If you were not such a two-timing guy. If you weren't, if you hadn't, if you didn't, if you weren't, if you hadn't, if you didn't, but you were and you heard and you went and you did, and so goodbye. If, when I asked where you'd been, you had not clipped my chin with a beautiful biff. If I had not always found purple lipstick on your handkerchief. If you had not told me lies and then looked in my eyes with a smile be a tiff. If, when I caught you with Kate, you had not said it's oh no signiff. I'm gonna miss you, baby, and I could get specific. Ha! What's the diff? If the best years of my life weren't spent as your wife with no marriage certificate. If you are not such a two-timing guy. If you weren't. If you hadn't. If you didn't. If you weren't. If you hadn't. If you didn't. But you were and you have and you went and you did. And so don't wear slidey things and then sit on a stool, guys. It's terrifying, because then you feel like you're gonna fall. I just learned that. Anyway, so told you I can't help myself. I am me, no matter what happens. Okay, so my next two songs are actually because habits die hard, and I'm an opera singer first, so I had to put things in groups. So this is my Bochum set. I like that you all think I'm funny. Like in class, I'm like, oh, they laughed. Thank God I'm funny. So you're gonna laugh again. So George is a piece that I gave to a student last year, and I love this piece so much because it marries so much of my life and describes so much of my life in New York City. Leslie will actually tell you I'm really terrible about themes. Terrible. So when I was thinking of the theme for this, I was like, so is it a cabaret? Is it not a cabaret? I'm kind of doing a mix of things, but that's the whole point. So George is dedicated to all of the opera queens in my life, of which there are many. I know, Duncan. So George is to all the opera queens in my life, living and past. And Blue. Blue is also for them. All right? Here we go. My friend George used to say, "Oh, call me Georgia." Get yourself a drink. And sang the best soprano in our part of town. In beads, brocade, and pins, he sang if you happened in. Through the door he never locked, and said, "Get yourself a drink," and sang out loud till tears fell in the cognac and the chocolate milk and gin, and on the beads, brocade, and pins. When strangers happened through his open door, George said, "Stay, but you gotta keep quiet while I sing, and then a minute after, and call me Georgia." One fine day, a stranger in a suit of navy blue took George's life with a knife George had placed beside an apple pie he'd baked, and stabbed him in the middle of un bel di vedremo, as he sang for this particular stranger who was in the United States Navy. The funeral was at the cocktail hour. We knew George would like it like that. Tears fell on the beads, brocade, and pins in the coffin, which was white, because George was a virgin. Oh, call him Georgia. Get yourself a drink. You can call me Georgia. Get yourself a drink. This is what I want to do. My heart is sit real still with you. After all that cruising in, around, and out of town, put them down who dare refuse me, and the same old line I threw. Ah, but up, up, up I grew, and now all I want to do, my heart, is sit real still with you. After all that screeching, talking fast and slowing down, only now and then to reach you when you let me know I knew that what I preach is none too true. That's why all I want to do, my heart, is sit real still with you. 'Cause I do know this about people, and I don't mean some. Awfully smart people are often awful dumb, aren't we? We just don't realize that behind the eyes, behind the mind, you'd find the sweetest brilliance and a stillness of such blue. Yet, that's why all I want to do, my soul, is sit real still with you. Oh, so sweetly down the hill. That is all I want to do, sweet soul, is sit real still with you.
Sit tight, we'll be back.
What, you thought I was done? Nah. This one's for my students. Ask any of the chickies in my pen. They'll tell you I'm the biggest mother hen. I love them all and all of them love me, because the system works, the system called reciprocity. Got a little motto, always sees me through. When you're good to mama, mama's good to you. There's a lot of favors I'm prepared to do. You do one for mama, she'll do one for you. They say that life is tit for tat, and that's the way I live. So I deserve a lot of tat for what I've got to give. Don't you know that this hand washes that one too? When you're good to mama, mama's good to you. If you want my gravy, pepper my ragu, spice it up for mama, she'll get hot for you. When they pass that basket, folks contribute too. You put in for mama, she'll put out for you. The folks atop the ladder are the ones the world adores. So boost me up my ladder, kid, and I'll boost you up yours. Let's all stroke together like the Princeton crew. When you're stroking mama, mama's stroking you. So what's the one conclusion I can bring this number to? When you're good to mama, mama's good to you. Steve Vasta loves Sondheim. That's a lot nicer than what he said to me. Here's this thing. I love Sondheim very, very much, as does Peter up there doing AV things. So I put a lot of Sondheim on this, on this show, because I was just like, this is stuff I want to sing, and it's all about me. So let's just be real. So we've got, I'm just going to go straight through. We got Being Alive, Take Me to the World, Moments in the Woods, and my favorite Sondheim song of all time, Losing My Mind. Somebody hold me too close. Somebody hurt me too deep. Somebody sit in my chair and ruin my sleep and make me aware of being alive, being alive. Somebody need me too much. Somebody know me too well. Somebody pull me Let me see the world with clouds. Take me to the world, out where I can push through crowds. Take me to the world, a world that smiles with streets instead of eyes, where I can walk for miles with you. Take me to the world that's real. Show me how it's done. Teach me how to laugh, to feel. Move me to the sun. Just hold my hand whenever we arrive. Take me to the world where I can be alive. Let me see the world that smiles. Take me to the world, somewhere I can walk for miles. Take me to the world with all around things growing in the ground, where birds that make a sound are birds. We shall see the world come true. We shall have the world. I won't be afraid with you. We shall have the world. I'll hold your hand and know I'm not alone. We shall have the world to keep. Such a lovely world. We'll weep. We shall have the world forever, for our What was that? Was that me? Was that him? Did a prince really kiss me? And kiss me? And kiss me? And did I kiss him back? Was it wrong? Am I mad? Is that all? Does he miss me? Was he suddenly getting bored with me? Wake up, stop dreaming, stop prancing about the woods. It's not beseeming. What is it about the woods? Back to life, back to sense, back to child, back to husband. No one lives in the woods. There are vows, there are ties, there are needs, there are standards, there are shoulds and shoulds. Why not both instead? There's the answer if you're clever. Have a child for warmth and a baker for bread and a prince for whatever. Never. It's these woods. Face the facts, find the boy, join the group, stop the giant, just get out of the woods. Was that him? Yes, it was. Was that me? No, it wasn't. Just a trick of the woods. Just a moment. One picture. peculiar passing moment? Must it all be either less or more, either plain or grand? Is it always or is it never and? That's what woods are for those moments in the woods. Oh, if life were made of moments, even now and then a bad one. But if life were only moments, then you never know you had one. First a witch, then a child, then a prince, then a moment you can live in the woods. And to get what you wish only just for a moment, these are dangerous woods. Let the moment go. Don't forget it for a moment, though. Just remembering you've had an and if you're back to or makes the or mean more than it did before. Now I understand, and it's time to leave the woods. The sun comes up, I think about you. The coffee cup, I think about you. I want you so, it's like I'm losing my mind. The morning ends, I think about you. I talk to friends, I think about you. And do they know it's like I'm losing my mind? All afternoon doing every little chore, the thought of you stays bright. Sometimes I stand in the middle of the floor, not going left, not going right. I dim the lights and think about you, spend sleepless nights to think about you. You said you loved me, or were you just being kind? Or am I losing my mind? I want you so, it's like I'm losing my mind. Doesn't no one know? It's like I'm losing my mind. All afternoon doing every little chore, the thought of you stays bright. Sometimes I stand in the middle of the floor, not going left, not going right. I dim the lights and think about you, spend sleepless nights to think about you. You said you loved me, or were you just being kind? Or am I losing my mind? about Steve Vasta? I've been torturing him like this for like a month, so. Anyway. Usually at cabarets, people tell stories about themselves. I'm like not so good about that unless I'm like in the moment, but so I didn't really know Nonsense. Like I didn't really know the show, and I'm from Pittsburgh. Only my parents would like scream, yeah, Pittsburgh, whatever. Okay, whatever. So I'm from Pittsburgh, and the Pittsburgh CLO used to put up Nonsense pretty frequently. And I worked at the CLO when they did Nonsense, but like I was costumes and didn't know anything about the show. Again, went to Operaland. I was like hanging out in Operaland for a really long time. And then when I circled back to musical theater, I came to AMDA and I'm like, oh, this is that show. And if you must know, I grew up United Methodist. I'm singing in a Presbyterian church. Don't know how that happened. But anyway, my dad's side is Catholic, and I had two force of nature great aunt nuns. And one of them was named Sister Mary, and she was a Spitfire. She was a good time. And this song reminds me of her so much. This is I Just Want to Be a Star from Nonsense. So here we go. When I became a nun at a very early age, I had to choose between the convent and a life upon the stage. So when Reverend Mother said we're putting on a show, I must tell you, I was thrilled to death. I couldn't wait to go. Well, now, to my surprise, Reverend Mother didn't see what's so obvious. The stage was meant for me. Money and fame I don't desire. I only want to sparkle. I'm not here to start a fire, you see. I don't care if I'm ever rich or famous. I just want to be a star. I don't care if you know what my name is. I just want to be a star. I want to be the nun who makes you cheer, the nun who's out in front instead of at the rear. For once I want to lead the band and have the crowd in the palm of my hand. I don't care if I'm ever rich or famous. I just want to be a star. When we began this show, they were really green. They didn't know a chorus line from a chorus queen. They didn't realize that in the chorus line, you never get to strut your stuff. You never really shine. I don't care if I'm ever rich or famous. I just want to be a star. Sure, it's true that my only claim to fame is I got what it takes to be a star. I know my vow of poverty means I can't make a fortune, but when we're 80 and sitting on the porch in the old nun's home and they ask who we are, I just want to say, hey, I was a star. I don't care if I'm ever rich or famous, just so I can be. The chorus line is not for me. I'm red hot to be a star. Hey, Alan Dornack, park your own damn car. I just wanna be a star. gotta get into character, sorry. It's very important. There's a song I've always wanted to sing. There's a role I've always wanted to play. So I'm gonna do it right now. And we're all gonna have a real good time with it. I'll admit that in the past I've been a nasty. They weren't kidding when they called me, well, a witch. But you'll find that nowadays I've mended all my ways, repented, seen the light, and made a switch. True? Yes. And I fortunately know a little magic. It's a talent that I always have possessed. So here lately, please don't laugh. I use it on behalf of the miserable, the lonely, and depressed. Pathetic, poor, unfortunate souls in pain, in need. This one longing to be thinner, that one wants to get the girl, and do I help them? Yes, indeed. Those poor, unfortunate souls, so sad, but true. They come flocking to my cauldron crying, "Spells, Ursula, please," and do I help them? Yes, I do. Now it's happened once or twice. Someone couldn't pay the price, and I'm afraid I had to rake 'em across the coals. Yes, I've had the odd complaint, but on the whole, I've been a saint. To those poor, unfortunate souls. I have a lot of people to thank, so I'm going to thank them here because I like being unconventional. Okay, I have to thank Nadeem, who's doing sound. I have to thank Peter, who's doing AV. I have to thank Leslie, who put all of this together and talked to you in the very beginning. I have to thank my partner, Alex, for hearing this music over and over and over and over and over again. I have to thank my parents for coming in from Pittsburgh because they haven't seen me sing in a really, really, really long time. And I have to thank all of you for being here tonight, obviously. And the person I have to thank the most, and also the incredible people that work at Rutgers Presbyterian Church who, man, they are here all the time through every single event, sitting and watching our stuff in the other room, and they don't get enough credit. They're the best. And of course, dead last and not least, to my colleague and very good friend, Steve Vasta. I have to thank him. You'll have your looks, your pretty face, and don't underestimate the power of body language. The men up here don't like a lot of blabber. They think her gossips is a bore. Yes, on land it's much preferred for ladies not to say a word. And after all, dear, what is idle prattle for? Come on, they're not all that impressed with conversation. True gentlemen avoid it when they can, but they don't and swoon and fawn on a lady who's withdrawn. It's he who holds her tongue who gets a man. Come on, you poor unfortunate soul. Go ahead, make your choice. I'm a very busy woman and I haven't got all day. It won't cost much, just your voice. Those poor unfortunate soul, it's sad, but true. If you want to cross a bridge, my sweet, you've got to pay the toll. Take a gulp and take a breath and go ahead inside the scroll. Flotsam, jetsam, now I've got her, boys. The boss is on a roll. You poor, unfortunate soul. And I made cookies. So you better get some before you leave. Thank you for coming.